Oh, yes. It's that time. It's that time. We've been teasing you for weeks. It feels like weeks, but we're here. Where do we start? Where do we start? Oh,
That ass
Batman.
at the beginning.
Oh, Batman and Robin. Oh, this movie is an enigma. This movie's an enigma. Now, Kevin, I feel like Kevin wanted to murder me when we were through with this movie. Because, number one, he fell asleep twice. I had to wake him up. Which, oh my god. This movie, guys, if you've never seen Batman and Robin, you have to. No. Yes,
No.
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No.
If you are
Guys,
a film buff like me, first of all, don't tell my viewers to not listen to me. That's the point
I'll
of the
tell them
videos.
whatever the fuck I want to tell them to.
You know what? I will hop on the 42. I will tie you down and make you watch Batman and Robin again.
No.
If you guys are film buffs and you guys want to know some films that are in the worst discussion, like the discussion for like worst films of all time, this is easily number one. It has to be. Oh, it has to be close. Maybe The Room, which I don't think Kevin is ready for The Room yet. That's, oh my god, that's a whole.
It's worse than this.
Kevin, The Room. There are no words to describe The Room. It's that bad. It is that bad. But we're not talking about The Room. Maybe we'll do The Room for number 100.
No.
Yes. First of all, yes, this is the 50th video. I'm very happy of that. Just want to say thank you to all the viewers. Let's start talking about Batman and fucking Robin. So, as this normally works, we list the good and the bad. There are two positives to this movie. Believe it or not, there are positives to this movie. Number one, the music is good. I do enjoy the score. The main theme is pretty fun. It's not a Batman theme, but it's fun. And the Batman suits at the end look really cool. Okay, that's it. let me take a sip of my cold beverage really fast. Okay, so we're gonna start, and again, I was typing my notes on this. I didn't know where to start. I swear to God, I did the good, and I was like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what negative to put first. So I started with the story. The story has so much shit going on, and it still manages to be boring. Now, the way it's not boring is because of how hilariously awful it is. But it's still boring. There's a point in the second act. I can't tell you what happens in the second act of this movie. I seriously can't. Literally, it's like the first act I remember and the third act I remember. The second act, I don't remember what happens. I don't. Like, I remember, like, Poison Ivy starts working with Mr. Freeze. And Mr. Freeze makes a lot of bad jokes, and then Batman and Robin are mad at each other because they both want to have sex with Poison Ivy, and there's a lot of bat nipples. Robin's a little bitch. CGI is god-awful. Yeah, I think that about covers the second act. But yeah, this movie's boring as shit. The motivations for the villains are so stupid and hilarious. I'll give you an example. Little geography lesson and science lesson. Poison Ivy. villain of plants, right? Now, Kevin, teach the class, what do plants need to grow?
The sun.
And,
Water.
and, oxygen, dumbass.
It's been a while, okay? I don't pay attention.
It's the 3 components! Oh my god, useless! Okay. Now, Mr. Freeze's big plan in this movie is to freeze the city. Now, Kevin, enlighten the class. What will happen if the city is completely frozen and there are no
water,
people
there's no
around?
sun.
Meaning there's no plants either. Now, Mr. Freeze is working with Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy is going along with this plan, which, by the way, she is fully aware of in this movie. If you guys have any brain cells, I'm assuming you guys can piece together why fucking the plan in this movie is so beyond retarded. The story is actually really uninteresting. You know, Batman Forever, which I still think is a pretty decent movie. It's not bad. It's not awful like this, but it's entertaining enough. The story I actually liked in that movie, they had it that Robin's parents were killed by Two-Face, so he wanted revenge. That was pretty much the gist of it, and I think Two-Face killed his parents or some shit. I don't know. Batman's parents, I think. But that was a pretty interesting enough story. This movie, listen, I can't tell you what the fuck is going on. There's a subplot with Mr. Freeze that he wants to save his wife. Then there's a subplot that Poison Ivy is a slut and a whore, and she wants to get Batman and Robin. Then there's a subplot that Batman and Robin don't trust each other. Then there's a subplot that Batgirl shows up. Then there's a subplot that Alfred is sick. Then there's a subplot that I fucking hate this movie with a passion. Just wanted to throw that in there. You see what I mean? There's so much shit going on, but they don't flesh out anything. You don't even feel bad for Mr. Freeze, that he's trying to help his wife, which in the animated show they did very well. But I'm just like, you have so much shit going on, and like nothing is fleshed out at all. The characters, oh my god. Oh my god.
There are
Batman. Yeah. No, Kevin, there are characters. There's no character development. Don't get that misconcepted. Batman is fucking terrible. He's not menacing at all. He just delivers one-liners like a horny man in a strip club raining dollar bills. That is George Clooney as Batman. Just one-liners. It's god-awful. It's fucking awful. Let's see. Robin? Oh my god. Robin is a little bitch and just complains about everything. Batgirl is just there. She's not even Barbara Gordon. She's Barbara something else. She's not even there. She just does nothing at all until the third act when she hacks the Bat cave. Mr. Freeze is corny as fuck, and you never laugh once at a joke because literally it's just ice jokes over and over and over again. Oh my god. And then when you laugh at him, it's just because of how fucking stupid this movie really is. Bane is you. Oh my god, Bane. What a man. I'm so glad we got Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, because if we didn't, this would be the only time we ever saw Bane on the big screen. Can you imagine that? Now, granted, we have the only versions of Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze here, but, you know, that's just 2 instead of 3, and I'll take what I can get. Poison Ivy. Oh my god, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is just a porn star the whole time. She literally just flirts with Batman and Robin just because. And she has, like, that phone sex voice. She really does. She has phone sex voice, I swear to god. I don't have dialogue of what she said, but First of all, the dialogue in this movie was written by a 2-year-old infant with Down syndrome and purple crayon. The acting. Oh my god, the acting. Do you want to talk about the
There was
acting?
acting? There was acting?
But would you like to address the acting in this movie? Or attempt of acting in this movie?
There's I don't even know there was acting in that movie. I just saw people reading a script.
What script? Oh, the script. The script. You mean written in crayon, sponsored by Crayola?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Listen to me. These actors are so lucky that they're great now. Because look at the cast in this movie. The cast in this movie is actually really damn great. You have George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, which I don't think he's known for anything anymore. Uma Thurman, who's known for fucking Kill Bill. I just watched Kill Bill yesterday, and she was kick-ass in that. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look at that cast. And this is what you do? Arnold Schwarzenegger was the Terminator before this. Oh my god. This acting. George Clooney is fucking terrible as Batman. Who looked at George Clooney and said, yeah, Batman? Adam West was the better Batman than him. Rest in peace. And that's not a knock on Adam West, because for what that era of Batman was, he killed it. He's iconic. But, you know, oh my god, George Clooney's so bad as Batman. Oh my god. He's literally he talks so normal. He's just like, hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. Like, oh my god. Chris O'Donnell is probably fine, I guess, as Robin. He doesn't really piss me off in terms of acting. In terms of his character, yeah, he pisses me off, but in terms of his acting, he does a pretty fine job. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy is terrible and just over the top. They had to have just told her, oh, be a porn star in a Batman movie. That's what the cues had to be. Arnold as Mr. Freeze, again, is just insanely over the top and doesn't work. Like, oh my god. I don't know what episodes of Batman the Animated Show that Schumacher watched. Listen. I don't know what Schumacher was thinking with this movie. I really don't. There's so many decisions where you're just like, who approved that? Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl does nothing, and she does no justice to the character, and she's just bleh. She's just there. Doesn't offend me. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't stand out. She's just there. They throw in a subplot with Batman and her that they like each other or something. It goes nowhere. It doesn't matter. The effects. Oh my. No, I'm gonna let you take over for the effects. I need to. Man, you thought the effects in Green Lantern were bad? Oh my god.
Literally, I'm not even gonna talk about the special effects, just regular effects. A car busts through the window and it floats.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the scene where Robin came through the door with his motorcycle and it made the fucking Robin logo. It made no sense. Then there's a scene where they're surfing on air because that's geographically possible, I guess. And it's just CGI, fully animated people, and it looks awful. These are some of the worst effects in a movie ever. The beam from Mr. Freeze's gun, I don't even know what that is. It's just like a laser.
That's what you get out of a kid's drawing.
It's just...
that looks like a laser tag commercial.
The Batmobile looks like a lit up sex toy. I mean...
I didn't even know it was a Batmobile until
look
you
at
mentioned
that.
it.
Like, bro, Why would Batman drive that? It's so bright! You look at the Batmobile from the original Batman, 1980, and Batman Returns, because I think it was the same Batmobile. That shit is awesome. I would drive that shit. The one from Batman Forever, I don't think it was the same one, and if it was, then oh well. The one from the Dark Knight trilogy, fucking awesome. I would even drive the Batpod over this shit. I'm more exposed, yeah, but at least I look like a fucking badass driving on a bike. And then the one from Batman v Superman, which is my personal favorite Batmobile. That's my personal favorite Batmobile. That shit is fucking awesome. Yeah, the Batmobile is terrible in this movie. It's just... oh, Kevin, you want to talk about the icicles? Kevin?
I knew it was bad the moment I saw one of them just wiggling. If I can.
A cop opens the door after he gets frozen by Mr. Freeze, and I knew it was coming too. I said, Kevin, look at the car really closely. He opens the car and the icicles wobble on the car, bro. They're plastic. They were plastic icicles. Are you kidding me? How hard is it to make icicles? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, and then let's talk about the stock footage used at the end of the movie. So they're trying to tell Mr. Freeze that Poison Ivy is like not really working with him or whatever. And there's a scene where she confesses to this, and Batman miraculously has footage of it. Now, it's not like security camera footage, it's literally the same footage from the movie, just in a little tiny bat smartphone. How fucking lazy can you get? How fucking lazy? I don't understand. And on top of that, how was he able to record that? Nobody was able to record that. Who was recording? Batman was tied up like a little bitch in fucking plant vines. Robin was under the water getting drowned like a dumbass. Batgirl, I think, was getting her ass kicked. I don't know. The script. Oh my god, the script. The script to this movie is so awful. There are scenes that just make you uncomfortable and question yourself. I'm pretty sure Kevin was doing that from the first 5 minutes of this movie. Literally in the first 3 minutes, he said, wait a minute, is that their ass? What the fuck? Yo. I knew from his reaction of that, I knew I was gonna have so much fun with this. But there's so many, like the opening scene in Batman Forever, right? They do the same thing they do here, only they don't show bat ass. They just, show him shooting up, and it's pretty damn cool. In this movie, the first fucking thing you see is him jumping to the screen in the bat suit with his ass bare out. Oh my god. And then we get the amazing view of the glorious bat nipples. Oh, Kevin, I don't think Kevin noticed it until like 20 minutes in. He was like, wait a minute, why are there nipples on the, why are the nipples sticking out? I was like, I don't know. Actually, my god, I don't fucking know. Like, oh my god. And then they even did it for Batgirl too, which I would have loved to see how that scene got over in 2020. They literally showed her ass while she was shooting up. I would have loved to see how that went over with the group that will not be named on this podcast. It's, oh my god. The auction scene. Oh my god. The auction scene. I think the auction scene is the worst filmed scene in movie history. I think it has to be. It's a 3-minute scene where Poison Ivy just like makes her grand entrance, and it's honestly just feels like the beginning of a porn. Just all these men covered in glitter and shit, and like all this like erotic music. I swear to God, I was questioning my sanity. Kevin and I was asking me like 3 times, why does this matter? The amount of times he asked me, what is happening, why does this matter? I lost count. The character motivations and decisions just make no sense and are so confusing. I'll give you an example. Again, I told you guys the Poison Ivy one. But like, Batman in particular is just a dickhead in this movie. He like just doesn't trust Robin for whatever reason. Like, he's always like screwing him over. Like, there's one scene in the beginning where I would understand. He screws himself out of getting whatever diamond they were going after, and he gets frozen by Mr. Freeze. So Batman tells him, oh, go in the training simulator, understandably so. But then Robin like freaks out about it, and he's just like, oh, I don't need to train. It was one time, it won't happen again. So then for the rest of the movie, Batman just treats him like shit. Like, he just like, there's one scene where they're chasing Mr. Freeze, and they could have gotten him together, but instead Batman just disables his bike and almost kills him. I was like, why? I don't understand. Like, what was the point of that? Then, like, throughout the whole movie, it goes from them not trusting each other to them just fighting over who likes Poison Ivy more, or who Poison Ivy likes more. I don't. Oh my God! Why is this in a fucking Batman movie? Why? Why, Joel Schumacher? Why? Who told you this was good? Who? I need to know.
They showed the movie to kindergartners and they approved.
They showed the movie to what? Oh.
Kindergartners. They approved.
Showed the movie to kindergartners? Yeah, they approved it because they wrote the script. Oh my God. This movie, honestly, this movie just feels like an eternity. There's so much shit that happens in this movie. It's so boring. There's literally a scene.
We were looking at the time.
Oh yeah, in the last like,
was...
in the third act, when the third act was starting, there was like 30 minutes left. That final act felt like any fucking eternity. There's literally like a scene where Batgirl and Robin have like a drag race on motorcycles. What it does for the plot, I don't know. Ooh, it shows you where Batgirl goes at night. Okay. First of all, I don't give a shit where she goes because you haven't developed her fucking character. What is her character? Oh, she cares for Uncle Alfred. Okay. So? What's Batman's character?
Caretaker.
Oh, he's Batman. He makes one-liners and he fights crime. What's the character traits for Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight trilogy? Well, he's a millionaire, he's a prick, he has sex with a lot of women, he has a lot of fancy shit, he's Batman, he fights crime, and he's conflicted with himself sometimes. I just told you a whole slate of character traits about a character that I have not seen in God knows how long, because I haven't seen the Dark Knight trilogy in ages. Which, by the way, that is our next mission. We will be reviewing the Dark Knight trilogy. So, look forward to that. But yeah, it's just... Oh my God. The only thing to the comics that they even had in this movie is the stuff with Mr. Freeze, that he wanted to help his wife. But, like, I was like, okay, you had one thing from the comics. You want a medal? Then the ending of this movie, oh my God, there's so many laugh out moments. There's so many moments. That one scene where like fucking Batman and Robin are like having a fight or whatever, and Robin goes to punch him, and he just says bitch, and he throws him over the fucking railing. Oh my God, that shit was so fucking funny. Then there's another scene where Batman's trying to stop Mr. Freeze from whatever he was doing. He's messing with the telescope, and Mr. Freeze just like creates his own jump scare. I was like, oh my god, this movie. Alright, let's talk about Bane's catchphrase. Bombs! Bombs! Bombs!
Bro, Bane was a brainless zombie who didn't even know what he was doing.
Bro, there's literally a scene in the auction scene where Bane just reveals himself that he's in a monkey suit the whole time. Oh my god. Then there's a scene where Batman and Robin are like auctioning over Poison Ivy, like who gets her or whatever. And like Batman pulls out a credit card. A Bat's credit card. A Batman credit card. Oh my god. I can't believe this movie was made. I cannot believe somebody said this movie was good. Who said this movie was good? I don't understand. Who okayed this? I need to know. It's so bad that everybody who made this movie apologized for it. Joel Schumacher came out and said, if I offended any Batman fans, I'm sorry. I was just trying to entertain.
He entertained us with a bad movie.
Yeah, he entertained us, but not in the right way. Oh my god, this movie was terrible. This movie is god-awful. You know, I actually am proud. I'm proud, number one, that we reviewed this. I'm proud that Miguel told us to review this, and I'm proud that I made Kevin watch it.
No.
Yes, I am.
You should not feel proud about that.
But I am.
No. Just no, don't.
But you can't do anything about it, because you already saw it. The crime has already been done.
Well, technically, I didn't do something about it and made you watch Last Airbender.
I would rather watch Last Airbender than watch this over again. I don't care. Actually, no. I take that back. I would rather watch Batman and Robin over Avatar, only because Batman and Robin.
Batman entertained you because of how bad it is.
Avatar is just god awful. But even if the crime is still done, you got me back. That don't mean we're not gonna review another franchise with some shit movies, boy. No. Trust me, I know there's a couple of franchises we got lined up that got some shit movies. You ain't safe. Do you want to add anything to the fire of this monstrosity?
There is nothing to add. It's already burned. It's burned off the face of the earth.
Well,
it doesn't even exist.
That is our review of Batman and Robin. This movie is god awful, but in the right ways. I enjoy the fuck out of this movie. I even liked it as a kid. I didn't acknowledge that it was bad because mainly I was 4 years old, and Mr. Freeze was probably my favorite part. Now that I've seen it when I was 17, my favorite part of the movie is Alfred, who gives an Oscar-worthy performance compared to everybody in this movie. So with that said, that is Batman and Robin. Thank you guys so much if you enjoyed this. Also check out our rant of Avatar, The Last Airbender, the movie, not the show. The show is amazing. We finished it a couple days ago. Awesome. But yeah, check that out. I hit a lot of good points on that, I think, and it was a really passionate type thing that I did because, you know, I love the show, and M. Night Shyamalan just took a Batman and Robin all over it. If you can't get the joke, I'm sorry. But, and also, we're gonna start doing the Dark Knight trilogy whenever Kevin gets off his ass and watches the movies. And I honestly, hand over heart, I don't know if we're gonna do Matrix Revolutions. I really don't. I have no urge to do it. If anything, I'll just do like a mini review of it, like 2 minutes, just to complete it. Because honestly, I have no fucking urge to watch it. And Kevin hasn't even watched Matrix Reloaded yet. So, I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us through this hilarious nonsense. There are worse ways to spend the night than watching Batman. Who am I kidding? This is torture. This is worse than being in the fucking electric chair. Um, Thank you guys so much. Please stay safe. Please. Oh shit. Wait. Hold on. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and look out for more reviews very soon. And see ya.